Your visitors are landing on your Shopify store and are leaving without buying. Converting traffic into paying customers is an endless struggle for most brand owners. In this video, I'll show you the specific sections that you can add today to instantly boost your conversion rate. I've helped more than 20 Shopify stores to optimize their pages and boost their conversions, and now I'm going to share these insights with you. One of them is where we actually added a section that increased the conversion rate by 20%. So if you want to know about these sections, then stay with me till the end of this video. Now, the first section that I want to highlight is a good and strong About Us section that you can feature on the homepage or the product page. And the best version is like here if you have a very strong brand story. If you started your brand because you wanted to solve a problem, either because you had an issue yourself or someone around you had a problem and you wanted to solve that. Now, if you don't have a strong founder story, what you can at least do is see, what do we want to do? How do we want to make the world of our audience a bit of a better place? How do we contribute to that and share that story? This is an example of the homepage where you immediately get enticed because you also see that she was burned out, and it entices you to click on that button to see, okay, what happened to her and why did she create this brand. This creates a familiarity with the founder because people don't like brands, they like the people behind the brands. So it is very good that you have a strong story that people can connect to. Another example is here on this website where they sell fashion. And if you scroll down, then you'll see that they are going to share the story about the artisans that crafted that particular product line or product. So it also gives a bigger story behind the product that people can connect to, that people can appreciate, that can get them excited about buying from you. So if you have a good brand story, or if you have a good story about your product, about how it is created, then share that with your audience. You can also add, for example, this About Us section on your product page. You can do it in a smaller format. But a lot of people land on your product page. That is for a lot of people the first page they see. So kind of a bit of a homepage. And a lot of people don't even leave that page, or they don't go to your homepage. And this is very important information because this can really help you connect to your audience. So also have a snippet, have a section of your About Us page, have a good one, have a good About Us page, and have a feature snippet of that on your product page. That will definitely help you increase trust and likability and therefore your conversions. And just to give you an illustration of what it can do for you, we have tested this for a brand a while back. And what we saw is when we added this About Us section, which doesn't even look that fancy, but it gives a clear idea of what they do and what they are all about, we saw that their conversion rate increased by more than 9%. Now, I can't show you the revenue numbers because this is a client of ours, but it shows how powerful this is. This is a bit lower on the product page. It's not even above the fold, but it helps people to understand what you do, why you do it, and why they should buy from you. Now, another section that you definitely need to add is a you might also like section that you can see here. Now, if you land on this page, you see this particular bag, but maybe you don't like that color per se, or you like a different style. So if you can show similar products they might also like, or products that are different, for example, this wristlet, but is of the same style, then you increase the chance for people to see something that they like, because the first product they see might not necessarily be the one that they want. But if they can see similar options, then you increase the chance of them seeing something they like, or to increase the chance that they see an accessory that they like that can actually increase your average order value. Now, don't just slap any kind of section here that is about featuring other products. For example, what I usually don't like, and what I also see fail and fail again, is the people also bought or frequently bought together. This is usually rendered also by machine learning, and oftentimes these combinations don't make any sense. Show people similar items so that they can see something that they might be interested in, or that they can add to their order. And we have tested this, for example, with one of our clients. And what we did is we actually had one based on machine learning. So we had this one that was done by a tool. And then we also, this is by the way mobile, and we also created a custom option where we actually made these connections ourselves. And what we saw is that the conversion rate in that second variation, where we did manually these connections, that the conversion rate increased much more and significant. The conversion rate in the first version only increased by almost 3%, but when it was manually done, it increased the conversion rate by almost 9%. And the AOV also increased, and there was a super high probability of the test being successful, and it would generate them more than $250,000 a year. So you can see that these sections can be very powerful for people to see not only other products that they actually might like, but also to see things that they can add with the original order. Now, the third section that you can add is what you, for example, see here with Upwork is a trusted by or featured on kind of section. It doesn't have to be big, but it creates some credibility. If you've been featured on certain news articles or if you've been featured on certain TV shows, be sure to mention that. If you have celebrities or if you have certain businesses that are well known that use your product, be sure to mention that. Now, we did this with one of our clients, and here you can see the variation where we didn't have this mentioned, also here on mobile. And then we added a featured in section here and here on mobile. And what we saw, and I cannot show you the revenue numbers for this particular client, but their conversion rate increased by 6.5%, which resulted in a significant uplift for them also revenue wise. So it shows you how powerful this is if you have this information and you can show it. So adding this section will definitely help increase trust and therefore the likelihood of people converting. Now, another section that is very valuable to show is why they should choose you or how it works. So this is a brand that shows why they should choose them, because here you can see their nutritional value, and it shows, for example, that they have much more protein, they have much less sugar, a lot less carbs than their competitors. So therefore they say, hey, this is why you should choose us. We are much more healthy. We also don't have gluten. We are a better option if you want to have a healthy breakfast. But what is also a good section to have, if that's possible, if you have a complex product, is to show this is how you use us. For example, here, this brand, they sell sunglasses and they actually sell the lenses for your sunglasses. Now, I wasn't even aware before I spoke to these guys that you can actually change those lenses yourself. And it feels very tricky to do it yourself, especially if you have a designer sunglasses or if you have a particular brand. But they can make it very easy. They just show 3 simple steps that you need to do. And they even have a video here, and they remove that doubt. They remove that feeling of, oh, that's probably a very complex thing to do and I can do it in a wrong way. If you have a product that is a bit more complex and it needs certain steps in order to get a result, show them that it's easy. Ideally, you show like 3 steps. This is how you can do it. Simplify it for your customer so that if you have a complex product or if people have doubt if they can do it themselves, that you can make it seem easy. And therefore, there is less doubt and they'll be more likely to convert. Another section that is super powerful is a before and after section. So let me show it to you here, where you can, for example, see it with hair. If you sell a certain hair product, you can show a before and after photo that really gives an idea of what the result is that they can achieve. Because sometimes, especially if it's about a transformation that is going to occur, either weight loss or health gain, or with makeup or here with hair, show them what the before and what the after situation is. Don't overdo it. Don't make it seem like someone first was like that she was almost bald and now she has hair. Like, you know, if it's just a hair care product, make it realistic. But this gives people an idea of, okay, this is what I can expect, but also, yes, this is my problem and this is what I want to have. So you really tap into their emotion and their needs and their wants. And that is super powerful. And what I especially like is these sliders where you can actually see before and after. So you can see, okay, this is before, this is after. You have here also with the remodeling, this is what it was before and this is what it is now. Also, this is a bit of a gamification that people also just enjoy doing, and they can actually see that transformation. So that gives a bit of a control, a bit of a fun element, which is really strong. So if you sell a product that can transform something, or there is a before and an after state, use this, and this is going to be super helpful. This is definitely going to push your conversions. Now, the last section that you definitely need to add is a good FAQ section, and they will have it here at the bottom, and that's totally fine. They have here some most or frequently asked questions. And we once tested this for one of our clients where here you didn't have the FAQs, and here we added the FAQ section, and it really increased their conversion rate by more than 20%. Now, I cannot share the revenue numbers, but that was a very significant number for them. And this is super powerful because people have questions when they are going to buy your product or service. And sometimes you either get a huge page if you answer all those objections, but also it can be very difficult for them to find the answer. They would really need to go through your product description or specifications, while sometimes people just want to have a quick answer to their question. And if they can see all the possible questions or most asked questions there, then they can easily see, oh, this is my question, let me see the answer. That is super powerful. People can easily find what they need, and therefore people, of course, they don't like to read, right? So if they have to go through all the product description, it takes a lot of time, especially on mobile. People spend half the time as on desktop usually, so they need to get their answers quick. And also a good bonus here is that it actually is also good for your SEO. So definitely add an FAQ section, unless you have a very simple product, but then still it could be good to have an FAQ section. You could talk about your shipping cost or your return policy so that it's easy to find that information. You can add it lower on the page. People know that they need to find it a bit lower on the page, just like reviews. People are a bit trained now to look for it at the bottom of the page, and this will definitely be a conversion booster. Now, of course, don't stop here. Adding these sections will be a great start, but there's much more that you can do and need to do in order to increase your conversions, to boost your revenue and to scale up. Now, if you are a Shopify store owner that wants an expert to scale their business and scale it fast, then be sure to check the first link in the description to book a free call with me today. And once you do that, check out this video where I show you why conversion rates are both crucial and overrated.